Today we got a pretty big job. We'll be changing out the brakes, pads, and rotors on this 2015 Chevy Sonic LT. Let's get into it. Okay, so now we've got the car up, we've got the wheel off, and we can take a look here at what's going on. So here we have the rotor, our brakes, caliper, and everything. Back here, this right here is where we could take out some of the brake fluid from this point. And when you do a brake fluid change, this is where it all goes down, right here. That little thing comes off. On the other side, see, this is where it all happens here. This thing compresses. So what we're going to do is make sure we don't lose that little cap. So put that in a place you won't lose it. We're going to take a 10mm wrench like this, slip it around this point right here, and then I'm going to attach a hose. The other side goes into a bottle, and then we'll crack that open. See, a little bit of the fluid comes out there. So now you can take a screwdriver, a little pry bar here, put it in here, and we're going to compress the piston so that there'll be room for the new pads. So we push this in, and some brake fluid may come out. So we just relieve the pressure to make this a little easier. Once we've done that, I can tell there's more room in there. Go ahead and close this up. Take this off. We just got a little bit of brake fluid out, not much, which is fine. Make sure to put the cap back on so we don't lose it. Okay, and then there's a bolt right up here, also 10mm, and another right down here. There we go. Just break them each loose. Ouch. Should get them a little bit loose. They should come out by hand. All right, here it comes. So they take those two bolts out and put them somewhere where you won't lose them, and we'll continue. So with those two out, this thing will just come right out like this. And this is what we compressed earlier. This is the piston and everything. So we don't want us to hang this anywhere. There's this right here, this rod. Usually this will hang there. This one's kind of tough. Let's see. I have to kind of maneuver it a little bit to get it on there, but see, it's hanging right here. You want that to hang right there securely as you can so it won't fall. That way this is not getting any undue pressure on it. Next is two more big bolts. These are right back here. One here and one down here. These are on there pretty tight. This is an 18mm. So you could take a breaker bar, but if you have a real long one, you can see you have a little bit of a problem. Now, you could kind of angle it under here and get it like this and kind of break it loose like this. I think it's loose enough now. Now here's another breaker bar. If you have a little bit of a shorter one, it actually fits. Barely. And you can see it fits in here. So I have a little more leverage and room to work with this one. I'm having to kind of hold the top back, so it might be a good idea not to take them all the way off until they're both almost ready. But it's not a big deal. We're working on it. See how that drops? I gotta hold this one in while I remove the bottom one. Okay, I'm holding it in place while I remove that so it doesn't fall out. And you can see, Comes right out. Just like that. Almost no padding left here. Completely gone. So we can take these out. And now we're going to work on cleaning this up, changing a few of the parts out on this guy. So I'm going to move these tin brackets here on each side. Pop right out. Take a wire brush and we'll just clean up all this area here where the bracket was. These little valleys here and here as well. If you bought some new rotors and pads, they may have come with some brake lubricant. If not, you can buy this separate real cheap. You probably buy 2 or 3 of these little pouches. There's another one that it came with. And we're going to put some lubricant right along here where the new brackets are going to go, or those new little, whatever they call these little things. Just put plenty of grease. Pop in the new guy. Same thing on the other side. I got the rotor and pads at AutoZone, and it comes with all these new guys, so that's nice. Also came with some new these little things, which are right here, so we can replace those. We'll pull this out. That pops out. This has got plenty of grease on it, or it should anyway. And what we're going to do here is back in like that, but what we're going to do is take the new ones and first put them on here before we put in the pin. So it'll go around. You're trying to put your finger in, somehow get it to pop around it. Easier said than done. We got it. We'll take the pin here. We can clean this one off with some brake cleaner. Spray a little brake cleaner on there because I want to put some new grease on it. I'm going to put some of this silicone brake lubricant on there. I cleaned it off. And I'll go back in. That thing will pop on like that. And just kind of work it around a little bit. And do the same thing on this side. Pops out. Same thing here. Lots of grease. Pops in. Pops into place. Work it in a little bit. Okay, now we got to remove the rotor. This is where things can get really tough if that rotor doesn't come out, and it probably won't very easily. And first is this. Now, sometimes this will come out easy, sometimes it won't. T30. I have just a very small wrench right here. I'm going to start with this and just see if it budges at all. I haven't done anything yet, and you can see it comes loose pretty easy. So sometimes that'll come out no problem. That's just step one though. So that comes out easy. That's good. Now theoretically, this should come out now. Does it? Not even close. Now you can try to whack it with a hammer, mallet or something. And we're going to be changing the rotor, so it's okay to damage. If you're not changing the rotor, you don't want to hit it too hard over here. You don't want to hit it too hard at all, but try to stay in here. And don't hit it as hard as you possibly can, or you might shatter it. Something could happen. Also, before you start banging it, put back on the lug nut or two and screw it in deep, deep enough that if it does pop off, it won't pop off, hurt nothing or nobody. But you can see some kind of rust going on, so we're going to spray some lubricant on there, let it sit a little bit, and we'll come back and try again and maybe bang it a few times. PB Blaster, I love their design. It's like super old school, 1950s, 40s, 60s a little bit. So I'm going to hit some in there. Hit some in there maybe, I don't know. Just everywhere. Oh. Especially in there, that's where it's kind of seized up. So if you have a mallet, all I could find is this normal hammer right now, but got a piece of wood. And I'm just going to try to put it in different places here and just kind of give it of a whack on this thing. That's what I'm worried about. Actually, I don't want this guy to fall while I'm whacking it, because this one was kind of not on there that great. So I'm actually holding this with my left hand. Got my left hand up here, making sure this guy doesn't fall. If you could secure that with some, I don't know, zip tie or something, that'd be good. But I'm just holding it with my left hand, and I'm just kind of banging here with my right hand. I'm just moving it around. Oh, did that do it? And look at that, we got it. So I sprayed some PB Blaster and a nice good whack there. I don't know if the PB Blaster helped, but I did let that sit for a while. Put a piece of wood here, and I whacked it with the hammer. Well, if you have to struggle, I mean, I just whack it around. Mallet, wood, try, don't hit it as hard as you possibly can, but hit it in pretty decent force. And it's good to put the lug nuts back on there so it doesn't go flying off. And also maybe wear goggles, which I did not, because I'm a dumbass. Oh, look at that. Another way, make note where the where this is. It's right there, which we know because there's a hole right here, so it's going to have to go in the exact same way. There's the brand new rotor right here. It says on here which one it's for. Front driver side. Front driver side. And so it matters, evidently. You want to clean this a little bit with some brake cleaner and wipe it off. So it's got some rust and stuff. We're going to go ahead and clean this off a little bit. You want to make sure we clean this up. I'm going to put it in this way first. So this is back in. Don't over tighten this. I think I over tightened it a little bit and stripped it a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it this time, but in 5 or 6 years I could be pissed off about this. But it is in there, so we're good to go. Now we have this guy, the bracket here. Pretty obvious how it goes in, because you got to line up with these bolts here, so it has to go in. So it has to go in like this. So these bolts line up. It doesn't go behind here. It wouldn't fit. It goes in front like that. And the bolts go in from the back. See how that bolt's going to go in, just like we took them out. Okay, so I tighten the bolts to 74 foot-pounds about. Everything is looking good. Ensure that each side of the brakes are, one of them will have this. This is a little squealer. One of them should not. So they're different. They're not all four the same. So each side of the vehicle will have one without this little thing here, this little clip the squealer, one side will have it. They won't even fit, but if you accidentally put both the squealers on one side, they will fit. Then you'll be screwed on the second side because these two won't fit. Ask me how I know. So we're going to go ahead and start with the bottom, with the squealer. Goes on the bottom like this. And he'll fit in back here. Fits right in. This one would not have fit in that back, but it will fit in the front. The one without the squealer goes in the front. There it goes. Now we have both the brakes in. The last step is this guy. Hopefully he'll fit around it nicely. Yes, it fits. So we were able to open it enough before we started, make sure that it fit. Put those two bolts back in, we'll tighten them up. Get the tire back on. I'm getting tired and lazy.
Have a nice day and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.